Number 10. The disastrous life of Saiki K. Saiki never asked to be a walking apocalypse, but life said, congrats, here's every psychic power imaginable. Telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, you name it, he's got it. Problem is, all Saiki wants is peace, coffee jelly, and maybe a quiet nap. Instead, he's trapped in a classroom full of clowns. Nendu? Built like a tank, but runs on one brain cell. Kaido? A Chunibyo convinced he's fighting evil overlords when he can't even pass gym class. Teruhashi believes she's God's gift to humanity. Spoiler, she's not. Saiki could erase them all with a blink, but nope. He suppresses everything, pretending to be normal while internally screaming about the stupidity around him. His weakness isn't weakness at all, it's restraint. And honestly, that's more terrifying than flexing. The audience knows Saiki could casually solo Goku, Saitama, and whoever else you throw at him. Instead, he wastes his talents surviving cafeteria drama. Savage? Absolutely. But his real enemy isn't alien invaders or natural disasters. It's the fact that idiots won't leave him alone. Moving to number 9, ReCreators. When the fourth wall collapsed, fictional characters poured into the real world, and humanity got front row seats to the weirdest crossover ever. Meteora Österreich, the stoic mage with the driest personality in anime history, stood at the of it all. She wasn't the loudest nor the flashiest. Instead, Meteora played the calm strategist, sipping snacks while casually roasting reality itself. Outwardly, she looked harmless, an overworked NPC plucked from an RPG. Inwardly, she was dissecting existence like a surgeon with a grudge. Everyone else was out here flexing powers, blowing up cities and screaming their tragic backstories, while Meteora sat back thinking, idiots, all of you. Sure, she could unleash devastating spells if she wanted, but why waste mana when villains were already digging their own graves? She became the ultimate pretend weak character by choice, blending into the background while steering the entire plot. Honestly, Meteora wasn't just a mage, she was the anime equivalent of that quiet gamer who doesn't talk trash, then wipes the floor with the whole server when provoked. Blowing up number 8, Wistoria Wand and Sword. In a world where magic is everything, Will Surfort got stuck with absolutely none. To his peers, he was trash tier, the Academy's favourite punching bag. They sneered, no spells, no future. But inside, Will carried something scarier than flashy incantations. Sheer skill, insane training, and a sword arm that could split gods. Outwardly, he let them underestimate him, absorbing every insult with a poker face. Inwardly, though, he was tallying their stupidity, waiting for the day he'd slice monsters in half while they stood useless. And boy, did he deliver. Every battle proved Will wasn't weak. Society just had garbage standards. Mages would throw shiny spells that barely tickled enemies, while Will waltzed in, blade flashing, ending fights with surgical precision. He didn't brag, didn't grandstand, just acted like it was nothing, which made it even funnier when jaws hit the floor. Honestly, Will's swordsmanship roasted the entire academy harder than words ever could. They labelled him powerless, but in truth, he was just politely waiting for everyone else to catch up. Spoiler, they never did. Crashing at number 7, Owari no Seraph, Seraph of the End. Yuichiro Hyakuya's childhood was basically speedrun trauma, orphans, betrayal, vampires, dead family. Naturally, he grew into an angry sword-swinging teenager, hell-bent on revenge. On the outside, you look like a reckless shonen archetype. Loud, stubborn, always throwing himself into fights he shouldn't win. His teammates thought he was barely holding on, the squad's weakest link, fueled only by friendship speeches. But inside, you was hiding nuclear-level demon power, the kind of strength that made vampires second-guess their immortality. His inner thoughts screamed louder than his battle cries. I'm weak now, but one day I'll crush them all. Joke's on him, he was already crushing them and half the time he didn't realise it. Every vampire who sneered at you ended up regretting their career choice once his inner demon king flared up. And the melodrama? Legendary. Forget war strategies, this anime is powered by you screaming Mika every 5 minutes. Pretending weak? More like delusional. But one thing's certain, Yu's so overpowered that even his bad decisions have kill counts. Sliding into number 6. The most notorious talker runs the world's greatest clan. Noel's official job? Talker. Sounds useless, right? Like, what's he gonna do? Lecture the monsters to death? That's exactly what everyone thought, and Noel leaned into it, pretending to be harmless while smirking in the shadows. Well, meanwhile, his brain was playing 4D chess while everyone else was stuck on checkers. Externally, Noel acted calm, cooperative, even deferential. Internally, his thoughts were pure villain monologue. Keep underestimating me, you fools. The more you trust me, the easier it is to move you like pawns. And that's exactly what he did. Noel manipulated, strategized, and outright controlled battles so his clan rose from nothing to legendary. He didn't swing swords or toss fireballs, he orchestrated carnage with words sharper than blades. By the time enemies realized the talker was pulling every string, it was too late. Honestly, watching Noel was like watching an evil mastermind cosplay as a side character. Weak? Never. He was just polite enough to let others embarrass themselves before crushing them with ruthless efficiency. Leaping into number 5, the daily life of the Immortal King. Wang Ling could erase existence by sneezing too hard. Yet here he was, stuck in high school, pretending to be an ordinary student while sealing away god-tier powers. Outwardly, he looked bored, lazy, maybe even fragile. Inside, his brain was screaming, "Do not sneeze, do not blink, do not ruin reality again." Every day was a balancing act between hiding his absurd strength and surviving cafeteria food. The comedy hit harder because everyone underestimated him. Classmates thought he was average, enemies thought he was weak. Meanwhile, Wang Ling was quietly suppressing powers that could casually one-shot the universe. And when he did lose control, entire villains vaporized faster than expired milk. The savage part? He didn't even care. While everyone else was busy monologuing, Wang Ling just wanted noodles and nap time. His greatest enemy wasn't evil organizations or monstrous threats. It was keeping his aura from frying friends during math class. The guy's life motto? Stay unnoticed. Too bad reality refuses to cooperate when you're basically an immortal nuclear bomb. Smashing into number 4, Mob Psycho 100. Shigeo Mob Kageyama is the human definition of understatement. Bowl cut, blank stare, permanently awkward. To classmates, he was that quiet kid who probably fades into the wallpaper. But behind those lifeless eyes hid psychic powers capable of ending entire cities. Mob spent every waking moment suppressing himself, terrified of what would happen if his emotions broke loose. His outer shell said, "I'm harmless." His inner thoughts whispered, "If I get too mad, everything you love might disintegrate." And when he hit 100%, it was game over. Villains strutted in with flashy powers, only to be erased like bad doodles once Mob snapped. What made it even more savage? Mob wasn't flexing. He didn't want to fight. His battles weren't about showing off, but desperately clinging to humanity. Meanwhile, the audience was screaming, "Bro, you're a walking natural disaster! Stop acting like a side character!" Mob's greatest battle wasn't against enemies, it was against himself. Pretending weak? Nah. He was just terrified of what real strength looked like unleashed. Breaking down number 3, Classroom of the Elite. Kiyotaka Ayanokoji, king of pretending to be average. Bad grades? Check. Average sports skills? Check. Bland personality? Double check. Outwardly, he's the wallpaper of Class D, the kid you forget exists until he raises his hand. But inside, his thoughts are ice-cold calculations. Raised in the White Room, a hellhole where kids were turned into perfect weapons, Ayanokoji's real self was terrifying. He let classmates believe he was mediocre, secretly pulling strings to manipulate every outcome. Why stand out, he thought, when I can control from the shadows? Every time someone underestimated him, Ayanokoji dismantled them with surgical precision, physically, mentally, socially. And the scariest part? He didn't care. No passion, no ego, just cold efficiency. Watching him was like watching a predator stroll through a petting zoo, pretending to be one of the lambs. Classmates saw a quiet nobody. The audience saw a ticking time bomb wrapped in polite indifference. Weak? Never. He was just too bored to prove otherwise until someone forced his hand. Storming into number 2, Rakshasa Street. Cao Yanbing looked like your average brooding anime older brother, moody, distant, slightly annoyed at existence. On the surface, he seemed barely interested in fighting, just another guy trying to survive the cursed streets of Rakshasa. But inside, he was a full-blown powerhouse hiding ridiculous strength behind a poker face. Yanbing's thoughts were basically, do I really have to do this? Fine, Guess I'll obliterate everything. Every time an enemy underestimated him, he casually reminded them that their lives had expiration dates. Rakshasa Street itself was brutal, filled with restless spirits, yet Yan Bing cut through the chaos like it was Tuesday. His weak act wasn't even intentional, he just didn't waste energy until things got serious. And when it got serious, entire legions learned regret in real time. Honestly, Yan Bing is what happens when an overpowered protagonist refuses to join the theatrics of shonen fights. No shouting, no monologues, just clean, efficient destruction. Weak? Please. The only weak thing here is the lifespan of anyone dumb enough to challenge him. Finally, number 1, One Punch Man. And here he is, the bold king, the discount superhero in a yellow jumpsuit, Saitama. Outwardly, he's the biggest fraud in the Hero Association. A C-class nobody, constantly ignored, living in a crappy apartment, clipping coupons. Inside, he's the strongest being in existence, cursed with the boredom of never finding a worthy fight. His thoughts are savage. This monster? Trash. That villain? Trash. Is there a sale on eggs today? Saitama doesn't even pretend weak on purpose, he's just too lazy to prove otherwise. Villains monologue, transform, scream about destiny, and Saitama ends them with one casual punch, usually while yawning. The parody hits hard because while other anime glorify training arcs, Saitama's origin story is just, I did push-ups, now I'm God. His battles aren't struggles, they're inconveniences. The greatest fight isn't with enemies, it's with his own crippling boredom. Weak? Absolutely not. But pretending weak? Definitely. He hides in plain sight, the secret final boss nobody respects. Saitama isn't just on this list, he is the list. Period.